Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, desolate serfs, peasants, vassals. I'm usually welcome. And so the UN Commission on Genocide has finally declared that officially there is a genocide in Gaza. And of course, the first thing we have to bring up is it means nothing and nothing will happen. It's been very obvious to anybody watching these last couple of years that there is a genocide in Gaza. It's completely undeniable, and all the boxes are checked. And as usual, Israel will do whatever it wants with impunity. I'm one of those people that believes that Israel knew that October 7th was going to happen, allowed it, and in order to facilitate the agenda that they're pursuing now, which is the complete and utter destruction of Gaza as we know it. And so 4 out of 5 genocidal acts, according to the 1948 Convention on Genocide, have been violated. And and of course, it includes a lot of things that they will bring up as officially qualifying it as genocide, but then there's a bunch of other stuff we can add too. So of course, the obvious things of the 4 or 5 acts that of genocide that Israel's perpetrated: killing civilians, a total siege on the population, blocking aid and starvation, the destruction of all education and health care, sexual violence, targeting children, and destruction of religious and cultural sites. And so that covers a lot of ground, and we can add to that the complete destruction of agriculture in Gaza, the destruction of all the universities and hospitals, the destruction of desalination plants, the rounding up of putting Gaza civilians in what are supposed to be safety zones and then slaughtering them there, slaughtering them when they're coming for aid, restricting aid, all kinds of things that a lot of it has been going on for years. It's just been a matter of standard Israeli policy and how they treat Gaza. And I did videos 10 years ago talking about the blockade of Gaza and the rationing and limitation of aid and materials that they would allow into Gaza and the way people in Gaza have been treated. And when Nazi Germany, of course, was going after Jews, uh, the phrase collective punishment came up, and according to international standards, we're not supposed to have collective punishment. But here we have the entire population of Gaza is being punished for Hamas. And I understand some of the logic in that, but the Israeli military is known for being able to perpetrate assassinations and surgical strikes in very carefully crafted military actions. But this is an all-out and complete destruction, and even to call it a war is very misleading. This is not a war, it's a wholesale slaughter. One of the most technically advanced militaries in the world going against people with homemade rockets and a very limited amount of weaponry and a very limited ability to strike at Israel, but they do what they can. So anyway, Israel's never paid any attention to international standards and international justice, and they'll ignore this like they ignore everything else. So in fact, we've had the court in Hague uh, uh, designate Netanyahu as a war criminal, and so theoretically, if he goes to certain countries, he can be arrested. And most of the international community condemns Israel and the way it's treated Gaza and the genocide and most of their policies stretching back up to 100 years or so. And so this is nothing new. But now, of course, we have uh, a lot of countries are lining up to recognize the state of Palestine, but it's way too little, way too late, and the genocide has gone on. And as I mentioned in another video, probably 6, 7 months ago, the Israelis now state that 68,000 Palestinians have been killed, a very large portion of that women and children, and certainly civilians. But I still stand by the fact that other analysts have used standard methodology and historical methodology for measuring this, and it's more likely that 500,000 Palestinians have been killed. And we also can see the aerial views and photographs from all over Gaza, where every single structure is not left standing. It's just a pile of rubble from one end of Gaza to the other, and they keep moving them back and forth to one end to the other, and indiscriminately bomb them wherever they go. So there really are no safe zones, and so anyway, it's just a moot point and lip service for the UN Commission to even talk about Israeli genocide. It's only going to create more retribution by the Zionist Israeli regime. So I really lost a lot of faith in the international community, and my feelings on Israel have sunk to all new lows. And this is a true horror and a crime against humanity, and a clear-cut case of genocide, and certainly probably at this point the singular most horrific event of the 21st century. And we just have to stand by and watch it unfold. And I guarantee when it ends, there will be no Gaza, there will be no Palestinians in Palestine, and a large new chunk of land there will become part of the greater Israel. I'm used to it, don't you be one too?